How many employees does a facility actually need?
It depends on the size of the facility, first of all, but it's another one of those questions we get. It's not in Title 22. There's some guidelines, especially for the night shift, your night staff, and that depends on the number of beds. So look that up in Title 22, and it'll tell you how many people you need at night. Somebody has to be awake for so many beds. Somebody has to be on call. Somebody has to be able to respond in 10 minutes. So see what's appropriate for your facility or what's required. They do give you directions for a facility of 16 to 49. You have to have an activity director, a food service director, and somebody in charge of the medications. It has to be their primary responsibility. It doesn't have to be 40 hours a week or a full-time job, but it would be their primary responsibility. Now, facilities with 50 beds or more, the activity director, the food service director, and the person in charge of medications, that's a full-time job. So you have to have those three people full-time. Up to 15 beds, you do not have to have the activity director, food service director, or person in charge of the bedrooms. You have to have somebody responsible for doing that, but it's not a job title you'd have to have on your employee roster. But you do need to have activities, obviously, somebody in charge of meds. But usually the main thing with licensing, though, is you got to have, again, adequate staff. Just like the administrators, you have to be there adequate time to take care of the facility. That when we see a citation, it's usually number one thing is you don't have enough staff. Second thing is the staff aren't trained. So when we say staff, we're talking about trained staff. Now there is a new position that everybody has to have. Doesn't matter what size facility they are. You have to have an infection preventionist, and they need to be trained. And they're in charge of your infection control plan. So be sure you have that person also on your payroll. Doesn't matter if it's a full-time job or not, but somebody has to be there that's capable of doing the job.